I was to call what I'm about to show you in today's video, I'd probably call it the blueprint to scaling your e-commerce brand to 7 figures utilizing Facebook ads. And no, I'm not going to talk about ad account structure. No, I'm not going to talk about CBO or ABO or all of these media buying tricks. I'm purely going to focus on creative. And what I'll share with you today works whether you have an existing bank with thousands of creative assets that you might want to repurpose and give them a second life, or if on the other side, you don't yet have ad creatives, or perhaps you're just getting into advertising. Now, if you're new to the channel, you don't yet know who I am. My name is Justin, and I'm the founder at pitadvertising.com, an online e-commerce marketing growth firm specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce ads. With that being said, we're profitably spending over $9.6 million a year on ads on the behalf of our clients. We've now had the pleasure of working with over 160 plus clients. And with that being said, let's get straight into today's video. So right here, the first question to ask yourself, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit on the board I have, is do you have existing ad creatives? Okay, I'll start with the yes branch. If you do not, then I'll kind of get back on my tracks in this video. But if you do, so this is a screenshot as an example for one of our client ads. One of the easiest things that you can do nowadays is create pretty much unlimited amount of variables or iterations with your existing winners utilizing AI. And one of Hermosi's video was looking into the school games community, and I was looking into like his free content because he was talking about paid ads in there. He's like, whenever I find a winning ad for school and for my business, what I typically do is I spend 80% of my efforts iterating on this winner, and then 20% of my efforts creating new concepts, which I thought was kind of interesting. So when looking into that right here is how would you spend your time iterating on current content you have, or how can you make more money out of the existing content you have? Because right now, again, with AI, people don't realize the potential that their simple B-roll holds. You can create whole new narratives just by having B-roll. So what I mean by that is the following is, first of all, you can take one of your existing winning ads, you extract its core variables. So is it a UGC, a GIF, or a static asset? So if it's a UGC, what you would do is you would extract the transcript of this ad, perhaps using a tool like Atria as an example, or you would extract the building blocks or framework. So what is the overall storyboarding of this concept? So okay, it starts with the hook, obviously ends with a CTA, but what is in the middle, right? Are we starting with a problem? Are we twisting a knife? Are we, going with the product intro, presenting a solution? Like, what is the order in which the steps are happening in this video? And then once you've done that, you would move on to the who, what, how, essentially, which are the core 3 pillars of an ad. Persona is the who. So who was the person we were trying to speak to in this ad? Is mass market desire is the what? What was the overall angle or messaging in this ad? Awareness level is the how. How was this ad's messaging position? Product and benefit. So the main product highlighted in this ad and the main benefit or USP that was extracted from this ad. And those would also be able to be extracted by simply looking at a static ad or video. Then what I do is I use a sheet internally called the research center, and I would be able to add all of these variables to my research center. So I would be able to kind of track those variables from a concept like such. And then what you can do is you can use Claude or a custom GPT to ideate new scripts, briefs, or storyboards. So I've built several threads on both Claude and or ChatGPT where we've kind of prompt engineered the start of the thread to kind of tell it like, hey, behave in a certain way. You are a marketer. You're going to help us ideate or create new ad variations based on winning concepts. So some of the stuff that you can do in there is feed it some of the variables that you found, right? If you tell GPT or a custom Claude bot that you would that you would build, you can tell it, here's basically the top 10 winning ads that I've currently had on my account. And then you would give it, for all of them, here's the concept name. For all of them, here's the market desire. For all of them, here's the awareness level. For all of them, if they're all UGC as an example, here are the scripts. For all of them, here's the sophistication. Okay, now that you know this, essentially, help me create a new script. So now, because you fed it what I call owned data, which means this is data that you have now from your existing ads, it can help you spit out pretty much unlimited amount of variations from it. Or if you do not want to do that, then you can recreate other iterations with the different styles I'm about to share with you. So as an example, do we want to transform the original concept into a UGC or a static in video? That's one of the first transformation you can make. So as an example, going back to what you've had right here, if I run a static ad here and I was able to identify the persona of my static ad, the mass market desire of my static ad, the awareness level, the product and benefit, I don't need to change anything else than use the same variables that made my static ad work and write a UGC ad script from using these variables. And now I have the same concept, which used to be a static ad that is winning on my account, and I transform the same concept into just a different creative type. So in this case, into a UGC, which is very much doable. Or I could flip it around. I get all of these variables from a UGC that worked on my account, and I can just build a static ad perhaps, or a carousel from these same variables. So let me kind of keep scrolling right here. Now, let's just say you have a UGC or you have some videos and you want to make more videos. How do you go about this, right? Well, number one, you could use a tool like either Arcads, or you could use a tool like HeyGen, and then you could either clone the content creator you've already made this UGC content piece with, or use one of their AI avatars. And then now what you simply could do, it could be as simple as reusing the same script that you had for this winning ad, but picking an AI avatar to now read this new script, and then you export this AI avatar on a PNG background, or on a transparent background, I should say, and then you put them on top of existing footage that you have in the back. And then what do you know? You've got the same script with a brand new content creator with rearranged footage in the background, which is what I would call an iteration, right? It's an iteration based on a winning concept. Or once again, I could simply change the entire kind of narrative here. It's going back to what we said earlier. I use the same variables, but again, the one variable I have not highlighted here is the angle, right? It's like, what was the angle of this ad? Because I can make an ad using these same variables with a completely different angle. You know, I could target, let's say, a woman from the age of 25 to 35 for young mothers that desire essentially is to sleep better at night. Their product aware. I am selling them essentially a like a nanny cam that, you know, watch over the baby and then sends them a notification on a bracelet they have in case the baby wakes up. So it's like whatever. It's a seamless wake up process, so on and so forth, right? How many ways could I portray that? You know, I could do a gazillion videos. I could start with a video of a hook with a, you know, woman. She just feels super sleepy. She just feels incredibly tired. We agitate the problem, right? Or I could start with a video where, or I could start the video with a product from a competitor of ours that does something similar, but perhaps fails at the job, and how our product is better. You know, there's a gazillion ways to show that, is what I mean. So I could just literally take the same variables and build it into a whole different concept here with a whole different creator using something like HeyGen or Arcads, and or 11 Labs too, which 11 Labs, again, they don't even require you to have a different creator. So what we typically do is clients that we have a lot of B-roll for. So, you know, there's one of our clients that have been with us for about 13 months. We've made about 180 like UGC pieces in the last year. We've had about 3 variations per each of these pieces. We're sitting on like hundreds of pieces of content, is what I'm telling you, which means we're sitting on probably, if not multiple hundreds, like low thousands in total original raw footage clips from content creators, which means there's so much that we can rearrange together and kind of create, again, a whole new storyline with that. And all that it needs is a new voiceover with new subtitles added to it, which we can do, again, using 11 Labs. And then it kind of looks like this, right? It's like, if we're going to go UGC, then it's like we clone the creator's voice and or the video utilizing HeyGen, Arcads, or 11 Labs. We choose a framework or recipe. I've made a separate video on that on channel, by the way, which are like, what are my recommended UGC recipes or frameworks, which we typically categorize internally based on awareness level. So strongly recommending you check out this video on the channel. So then I can pick like a framework for my UGC video, and then I could again have GPT like or the Claude bot that I was talking about earlier, make me a whole new script based on that, put it into 11 Labs and or HeyGen, export that, create new website screen recordings, have the B-roll adjusted together, send it internally to our creative editing team here, and then boom, send it to our creative editing team internally, and then we're left with a whole new UGC piece, right? When it comes to a static or video ad, then what we can typically do is what I'll typically do is, if I want to have like a variable, is I would just add, again, the GPT or Claude bot to give me like a caption hook or like a headline or a concept headline that we call them usually, which is kind of the big bold claim that you have if it's a static ad, right? This is obviously a video ad, but I think it's just easier to kind of show you right here, right? It's when you have like a photo ad as an example, you'll typically have like a big bold claim on the photo, and then you'll have like the rest of the photo in itself. So that's typically what you can call the caption hook, the hook, or the concept headline in itself. So we can have AI give us a variable based on a winning concept that we have, and literally launch the same concept just with a different headline, or perhaps slightly tweak it around, again, with utilizing Photoshop, Canva, or others. And this is quite simple because look, if it doesn't work out, then all you have to do is like, you just start with research at the top. It's like, instead of extracting your variables, you start performing market research, and you always split that into own data versus market data, right? Own data is things that you have access to about your own business and your own customers. Ads Manager, Google Analytics, Shopify, customer reviews, product listings, post-purchase surveys, triple wall, etc. Market data is stuff stuff that you do not directly have access to, but that you can find out by browsing the web, competitor websites, Amazon, Quora, Reddit, social media comments, YouTube, so product reviews, comments and transcripts, Facebook groups, so on and so forth, with which you can kind of build out what we call the research center, right? Which basically a research center for us looks like that. We build out a section about a persona, about, the product, about the audience's desires, the product performance, the, awareness level. And then once we've done very thorough market research, then we basically find ourselves back in the exact same spot, which is feeding all of this research to GPT and Claude, have them help us to generate new concept ideas. And then we can get to work and either, if it's a video ad, generate a script, send it to a content creator, and if we already have existing content, use AI like 11 Labs or HeyGen to make a whole new video. If it's a static ad or a video ad, I kind of always say to beginners or clients, like in our one-on-one, I kind of always like to say to our clients in our one-on-one consulting that we have at paidadvertising.com, whenever they kind of ask us, they're like, guys, should I run a static ad or should I do a UGC video? I have limited resources. I think that making a video is easier than making a static. And I'll say that because a static, you have very low amount of space to make your point. Like it's a one frame, to make the claim or the point that you're trying to come across, right? Whereas with a video, you can make a 1 minute, 1 minute 30, 2 minute video, and you can have, different cuts, and you have a lot more space to express the claim, I guess, that you're trying to make in there. So I feel like a video could compensate for a lack of creative skills, whereas a static ad, it's really it has to be punchy for it to hit. And when it comes to a static ad, you also have to make it really look good, which again, I think video is easier to make a video look good. If it's filmed properly, you barely have any post-processing to do. It's like you add subtitles, you make the right cuts, the right transitions, that's it. Whereas a static ad, it's again, it'll require good composition, good hierarchy, choice of color, so on and so forth. So there's more design fundamentals that need to be put together to make a good looking static ad. But nonetheless, this whole process, I call it fundamental analysis, which again, you fundamentally analyze the data that you own, which is kind of pretty much what we've done here. Whereas, we're extracting data from our existing content, or you analyze data from the market in itself and use that to your advantage to build concepts for which you are strongly confident about their upcoming performance when launching them within your Facebook ad account. And again, this process has helped us take about a dozen businesses now from 6-figure years to multi-7-figure years. I've recently posted a case study on the channel about that, where we took a brand from $70,000 a month to $210,000 a month in about a year's time, which was utilizing and implementing this exact system that I just broke down to you in today's video. So with that being said, if you made it this far in this video, you are an e-commerce brand owner wanting to partner with a paid ads partner on Meta, Google, or TikTok, click the link down below to book in a call to speak with our team at paidadvertising.com today. And on that note, if you simply want me to personally review your ads, give you some business advice, and work with you one-on-one because you're either not yet ready to work with an agency or you don't need an agency, check out a second link in the description below to join our ad engine one-on-one consulting. With that being said, I invite you to check out other videos of the channel for some more useful marketing tips, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.